Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode, Unleashing Unlimited Sexual Power Within Your Relationship, the Seduction episode. So I'm sorry for delaying the episode, but we'll go straight into it. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to seduction, I can teach a lot about this bit for the next 2 months, pretty much on the same thing. But just to save time and give you something that you might need to use right now as a tactic, is that when it comes to seduction, you have to distinguish your behavior and see what your behaviors are when you're doing seduction. The main behaviors that you have to be doing, and I'm going to separate this so that you can understand. Most people, when they come to seduction or look at seduction, they look at it as though they're making this great painting. And then once they finish this painting, they walk up to their partner and say, look at this painting, and can you just gauge and see if it's something that you would like? And then obviously your partner decides whether they like it or not, and most likely not, because again, she's having to then judge your painting. Whereas seduction should be you creating this fire, and you say, do you want to sit with me and we can warm up in this fire? And as that fire is sort of cooling down, you add some more wood, and do you want to, and it's just this invitation of, look at this thing that's already happening. I'm inviting you to be part of it. If you choose not to be part of it or engage, that's okay. And when you start looking at seduction from that perspective, it becomes extremely powerful. So you actually understand that in this flame, in order to make it even more intense, it's going to need you to input certain amount of wood, for lack of a better term. Put some wood, and as you put that wood in, it increases intensity. So when it comes to intensity, now you want to understand what are those things that increases intensity. Now, I'm going to speak specifically on one. One that is, I've spoken about with several guys today, because again, when it comes to seduction, there's several tools that I've been calling them tools that you use. It's your verbal, your hands, your non-verbals, and your body. So there's certain things that you can use in order to intensify the seduction process. And in this case, we're going to talk about the non-verbal side. The non-verbal side is important because a lot of guys, when it comes to seduction, they get this pressure to want to force the issue. So whenever there's a point where you can intensify it, they try and intensify it by filling space or filling a dead silence with words. And usually or at least they try and avoid silence, because they equate silence to losing attraction or losing the seduction process, whereas you can use silence as a way of amplifying the seduction process. So this is something that I was talking about this week, and I thought it might be something that would be very beneficial for you guys, that when it comes to silence, there are times when, with my wife, I'll make eye contact, I will smile, and then continue walking. Silent, but it communicates so much. Or she says something sexual, I ignore, I don't say anything, but with my body, I'll come closer to her, look into her eyes, slow things down, as I'm doing right now. Get close enough as though I'm going to kiss, and then pull away. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is just because I'm trying to intensify the feeling. What I'm trying to do is that I'm doing what we call an open loop. And that open loop is that I'm allowing it to think, oh, he's about to kiss me, and then I pull away, and then all of a sudden I have not completed something. So I've done this before on this podcast. So imagine, okay, I'll just give you a word, an open loop, like it's like, and I'll give you an example of what that might feel like. So listen to this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right now your brain is going absolutely crazy because I've left the number 4, and until I recount and put number 4, you're going to be wanting that number 4 to be put in there, because that's how you're wired. There's this system that you already know. There's this sequence of things that you know, and I've disrupted that sequence. By disrupting that sequence, this is quite, I would say, creating an open loop. So you can use silence as a way of creating some open loops, and when you do so, you can intensify the feeling of in the seduction process. So this is one thing that is never used, well, it's rarely used within your seduction process. A lot of you guys, you're quite one-dimensional, or you use the same tactic, and over a period of time, it's even worse when you're using the same tactic when she's already rejected you 100 times. That's like crazy. That, she's already rejected you several times, and then you're still trying to use the same thing to go again. It just seems a little bit crazy. So, another way of switching it up, like I said, is increasing intensity by allowing yourself to, whenever there's a dead silence, you don't have to use your hands, you don't have to use your body, you don't have to use any words, but you can be quiet, use your eye contact, have a smile on your face, and then just allow that feeling of what's going on to raise up. Because sometimes we don't even allow that feeling to come up for her. We don't allow that feeling to come. And even if it's a sense of uneasy, you want that to come up. You want it to feel uneasy and say, what are you looking at? And I personally do that, where I look at her, smile, she goes, 1. And then that's the most perfect time to deliver, you look incredibly beautiful today. It releases tension, and so that's sort of increasing that tension. And when you do, it is actually powerful, very powerful. So allowing silence to come into seduction process, or at least allowing non-verbals and using silence as a way of amplifying the seduction process, is something that is very, very important. Now, there's several things, like I said, when it comes to the seduction process. Now, I'm going to knock it on the head here, but hopefully you've identified that there's certain things that you can be doing differently in order to amplify the seduction process. If you want to learn more and be part of this video series, is I want to start recording it next week, go to our Instagram, type in the DM unleashing or unleash, and when you do, you'll be part of that video series. I'll send you a reminder to say what about to do it. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to. I'll be able to see your DM. Your wife will never know. If she checks your Instagram, she will never know that you're part of our group. I'll give you the details of where we're going to be doing the video series, so you can go even deeper. So next week, I'll be doing the same series via video, but going in a little bit deeper. It might be a case that if I don't do it next week, because there's a few things that are coming up next week, so I need to just confirm by Sunday. But if I don't do it next week, definitely the first week of February, we'll hit the ground running. So I just a few things I need to iron out. It might be a case of I might hold off next week, and then get a few more people into the Facebook group. So I think I'm going to deliver it over there, and when I deliver it over there, it'll be a nice time for us to be a community, discuss different things, and get really empowered with the whole unleashing the sexual power within your relationship. So thank you very much, guys. Hopefully you have a very good weekend. Thank you very much for your time. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.